Kylie Jenner banned from social media. Here's why. Welcome back to Binge-Worthy Network. For almost 2 months, Kylie Jenner was absent and banned from her Instagram and Twitter, and we finally know why. But before we jump in, hit that like and subscribe button to be notified and updated on the latest Kardashian drama and news. In the world of social media platforms and entertainment, it's safe to say the Kardashian-Jenner sisters are the absolute winners. Having more than 500 million followers altogether, the Keeping Up with the Kardashian stars are definitely no strangers to huge followings and fandoms, especially when it comes to the youngest member of the clan, Kylie Jenner. Stormi's mum alone has over 300 million followers on her social media accounts, making her one of the most famous and popular figures on the internet. But recently, die-hard fans and stans have observed Kylie be completely absent from her Instagram and Twitter, but why exactly? For a few days and weeks, many fans thought Kylie's absence was because of her second pregnancy with her on-and-off boyfriend, Travis Scott. As Kylie hid her first pregnancy from the world, Keeping Up with the Kardashian stans thought the youngest sibling was repeating history, but surprisingly enough, that is not the reason why Kylie is MIA. If you've been following the news, chances are you've heard about the devastating deaths that occurred at the November Travis Scott concert in Houston. When Kylie's beau, Travis Scott, was performing in Houston, Texas, 8 people were killed in the crowd. The deaths were a result of a massive crowd stampede that caused not only multiple serious injuries, but caused fatalities as well. According to New York Times, Houston, panic and then desperation spread through the crowd of 50,000 mostly young people just as the popular hometown rapper they had came to see, Travis Scott, took the stage Friday night. It came like a wave, an unstoppable movement of bodies that could not be held back. Some collapsed, others fought for air. Concertgoers lifted up the unconscious bodies of friends and strangers and surfed them over the top of the crowd, hoping to send them to safety. Others shouted out for help with CPR and pleaded for the concert to stop. It kept going. In the end, 8 people died, ranging in age from 14 to 27, according to city officials. Hundreds more were treated for injuries at a field hospital at the concert venue, the NRG Park in Houston, or at local hospitals. Among those treated at a hospital was a 10-year-old child. The event appeared to be one of the deadliest crowd-controlled disasters at a concert in the United States in many years. But that's not all that was reported. According to concertgoers and eyewitnesses, Travis Scott continued to perform while those deaths were occurring right under his nose. For several seconds, the music appeared to stop. Mr. Scott looked toward the crowd and appeared to ask what was happening. Away from the stage, chaotic scenes were playing out. Another element in the investigation, according to a county official, would be whether too many people had been in attendance. Early in the day, some had rushed the gate, and some people may have entered without tickets. At the news conference, officials said the concert venue had not been overcrowded. As soon as the horrible tragedy made its way on international headlines, millions across the globe began to share the support to the families who have lost their loved ones. But along with trying to help and share support, fans began to boycott the Hollywood parents, Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. You see, according to some sources, both Travis and Kylie were aware of a ruffled crowd at the Houston Astroworld concert. But despite witnessing some trouble in the field, Stormi's parents decided to turn a blind eye. The Astroworld artist simply continued performing, while Kylie quickly fled the scene with her 3-year-old daughter. Hours after the deaths were confirmed by officials, the Hollywood celebrities went on their social media platforms to share their shock, heartbreak, and grief. In their statements, Stormi's parents voiced their concerns and prayed for the families of the fallen. Travis shared on his Twitter, "I'm absolutely devastated by what took place last night. My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astroworld Festival. Houston PD has my total support as they continue to look into this tragic loss of life. I'm committed to working together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. Thank you to Houston PD, Fire Department, and NRG Park for their immediate response and support. Love you all." Kylie followed up with a statement of her own. According to the makeup mogul, neither she nor Travis had any idea what was happening at the Astroworld crowd. "Travis and I are broken and devastated. My thoughts and prayers are with all who lost their lives, were injured, or affected in any way by yesterday's events. And also for Travis, who I know cares deeply for his fans and the Houston community. I want to make clear we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing. I am sending my deepest condolences to all the families during this difficult time, and will be praying for the healing of everyone who has been impacted. Even though both Kylie and Travis both offered their prayers and heartbreak to the world, here is where things get a little bit more complicated. As shared by the Houston Chief of Police, Troy Finner, the rapper and performer knew about the dangers of performing in front of a huge crowd. I met with Travis Scott and his head of security for a few moments last Friday prior to the main event. I expressed my concerns regarding public safety and that in my 31 years of law enforcement experience, I have never seen a time with more challenges facing citizens of all ages, to include a global pandemic and social tension throughout the nation. I asked Travis Scott and his team to work with HPD for all events over the weekend and to be mindful of his team's social media messaging on any unscheduled events. The meeting was brief and respectful, and a chance for me to share my public safety as Chief of Police. As you can see, the November Astroworld concert became one of the most shocking events in recent music history. But what does Kylie Jenner and her social media have to do with this tragedy? Well, as you see, Kylie feels the best thing to do is to deal with these events privately, away from the public eye. According to sources and close insiders, here is what is happening behind the scenes at the Kardashian Scott family. Kylie wants to keep her and Stormi out of the spotlight at the minute and is completely avoiding her main compound. She's mostly been staying with family. The online publication, Capital FM, also went on to share some interesting information about Kylie's recent absence from her huge followings on Instagram and Twitter. The article states, Kylie Jenner is usually quite active on social media around Halloween and Christmas, launching festive special products which sell out within minutes. The KUWTK star also shares numerous updates about Black Friday sales around this time every year, but since she has been on a proper social media hiatus, looks like Kylie Cosmetics will not have any new launches or sales this festive season. Since Kylie has been pregnant with their second child, she has reportedly been trying to keep away from the limelight. The source said, "It's a really difficult time for her, especially being pregnant. She just wants time to process what happened at Astroworld and privately support Travis, who is extremely upset." A report by Capital FM also suggests that Kylie Jenner could lose millions due to negative press attention following the Astroworld tragedy. This could be one of the reasons why she decided to take some time off social media as well. But it's not only the magazine publications that are spilling the tea, because along with insiders and close sources, it's the Keeping Up with the Kardashians fans that are sharing their thoughts and feelings about the Astroworld tragedy and Kylie's absence on her social media accounts. Fans wrote on Twitter, Travis Scott literally watched people saying "help" and nodding his head while doing nothing. Kylie said she didn't even know what was happening, but we literally could see the paramedics in her Instagram stories. Oh, that's how I know Travis Scott really is in trouble. Kylie hasn't posted in almost a month on Instagram. That's super unusual of her, so I'm sure her team is making her be low-key. I find it odd that neither Travis or Kylie have posted on Twitter or Instagram since the 4th, 5th of November. I'm really tired of waiting. Every day I go to Instagram and Twitter to see Travis or Kylie say anything, but they are so silent so far. But what do you think about Kylie Jenner being so-called banned from her social media platforms and accounts? Do you think Kylie Jenner isn't active on her Instagram and Twitter because of negative PR? When do you think the Queen of Instagram will return? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications and share this video with your friends. Goodbye, everyone.